If you're like most people, you have no room in your home for spiders. Even those who appreciate the natural pest control aspect of their webs still want them outside. Way outside. Here's a little science factoid to make your skin crawl. They are never more than 6 feet away from you at any given time. Sometimes closer. Go ahead. Turn off the light and go to sleep tonight. They'll probably stay off your pillow while you lie there, helpless and completely exposed. I've never been much for housework. The indifference in my cleaning attitude brought about an uneasy truce with these creepy crawlers. I suppose if they're never more than 6 feet away, lazy people have an even closer range of arachnid to human. In the back of my mind, I always realized they were lurking around my home, but I was a great pretender. I convinced myself that they weren't above me, crawling across my ceiling when the lights were out. They weren't lowering themselves down by a strand of woven silk to dangle a few inches from your snoring mouth. Either that or I pretended we had an unspoken agreement to live and let live. All that naivety went away when a mysterious sore on my arm started to itch. I ignored it for a day or two. Then it got worse, and my whole arm started aching. I went to the doctor. They knew right away what it was. The truth is, I knew it was a spider bite too, but denial's a powerful thing. I kept hoping that it would just take care of itself, that it was going to. But reality isn't like that. It was going to get much worse in the end. They gave me a triple dose of powerful antibiotic reserved just to fight flesh-eating bacteria. I lost some muscle tissue as they elected to cut away a little healthy skin to starve it. The theory is that, just like a forest fire, necrotizing fasciitis needs fuel to stay alive. In forest fires, they go ahead and cut down the exterior ring of healthy trees to prevent the spread of the fire. In my case, removing the nearby affected tissue helped to isolate the aggressive bacteria. Of course, forest fires can still jump these fire breaks and contaminate trees beyond the safe zone, and so can flesh-eating bacteria. For a few days, it was touch and go. A couple of my major organs were threatening to fail, and my fever spiked wildly before it started to reverse. Even after the flesh-eating bacteria was under control, I was at an elevated risk of secondary infection by other opportunistic infections from my gaping wound. The external skin keeps out all sorts of germs. With a large open hole, any present bacteria could just bypass my dermal defenses and attack my organs. I ended up needing a couple skin grafts and laser treatments to heal the wound. What started out as a tiny little spider bite turned into a 3-inch ugly scar and $500,000 hospital bill. Did I mention I'm not rich? You can believe that my prior indifference about house cleaning and my attitude about spiders changed drastically after I went home. I declared war. It was ugly. I made it my mission in life to destroy every unauthorized creature in my home. I cleaned, I sprayed, I called exterminators. I did everything short of burning down the house to eradicate those little creeps. I didn't realize it at the time, but that's when it was about to go really bad. From a health standpoint, all the toxic chemicals used to make my home spider-free were every bit as dangerous as they are. The poisons are very hazardous, cancer-causing carcinogens, but I desperately tried to associate the lingering pesticide smell with a safe house. It was a false sense of comfort, but it did help me sleep for a few days. For all the effort, I did have a spider-free house for a while, but like anything else, they will develop an immunity to the poison. They don't like being outside in fluctuating temperatures either. They want to be inside with you and me. Nifty. In only a few weeks, I spotted the first known arachnic settler in my house. I was appalled. I was furious. I didn't know what to do. The tiny creature on my bathroom counter wasn't that different from the one that nearly killed me a month earlier. How did it get in? How did it survive the toxic cloud of chemicals I was exposing myself to daily just to deal with my newfound phobia? I wanted to caulk up every inch of my home, but my exterminator said that the little creep could have just as easily come in inside a package or grocery bag. They can slip through microscopic cracks in my ductwork. He delivered me a death blow. It was clinically impossible to guarantee a spider-free residence. Even with his diligent efforts, a few will still get in, and if they have an arachnid union, I'm done for. Perhaps understandably, I developed a crippling fear of the eight-legged terrors. In just a few days, I witnessed several more of them in various places in the house. I wanted every last one of them dead, but for each one that I squashed, it seemed like half a dozen more came to take their place. I developed the shakes. I couldn't turn off any lights, so I couldn't sleep. That breeds a sleep deprivation, narcotic-like psychosis. I felt them crawl all over me. Their fuzzy legs scurried across my skin like torturous butterfly kisses. If I did accidentally nod off, I was petrified that one had crawled up my nostril into my drooling maw. It was absolute, unrelenting hell. That night I crashed hard. The lack of restful sleep and dopamine drove me into the deepest sleep I'd ever experienced. While I fully admit that I did really fall asleep, and I had been hallucinating earlier, I swear what I'm about to tell you is 100% true. The multiplying spider population in my home contacted me within the dream. Yeah, I know how it sounds, but we don't really know what their species is capable of. Who's to say they can't? I was told under no uncertain terms that if I killed any more of them, I would have the wrath of the arachnid army upon me. They also apologized for the bite on my arm that started my whole ugly crusade against them. Apparently, the individual that bit me violated their symbiotic code of conduct. She had been dealt with. I woke up in a cold sweat and shivered about how incredibly vivid it all felt. It was the most terrifying, lifelike dream I'd ever had. Of course, I chalked it up to the whimsy of extreme sleep deprivation. But then something quite chilling happened. As if to reinforce the seriousness of the message, the spider from the dream was dangling directly above my head. Mock me if you must, but it really happened, and the message was received loud and clear. I shall kill no more spiders in my home, and I implore you to do the same. They have their ways of getting revenge. Creepy, crawly ways.